the biggest thing in my world. Like the first person you think about when you wake up, the first person you think about before you go to bed. Maybe you go to bed on the phone with them. I was in high school, so yeah, I went to bed on the phone with them. Like that's what we do. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Elena and I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. Here on my channel, I talk about things like veganism and plant-based eating, self-care, and overall holistic wellness. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and subscribe so that you never miss another video. So today I want to talk about, I was listening to the Black Girl Bravado podcast. It's a podcast that I referenced on my last video. And in short, they talk about pretty much the same thing I talk about. On that podcast, they had the guest Sheila Marie, and she's also a wellness advocate. But one thing, what they said in the podcast that really stood out to me, and I had like this huge epiphany like in my car on the way to work. It was crazy. But what she said, that she was talking about self-love and self-care, and pretty much saying that it's radical, like radical love for yourself. And like at that moment, I don't know, like a light bulb went off or whatever, and I was thinking about what radical love really feels like or what it looks like. And the way that how I translated it in my brain is how we behave when we are in love with someone. Not necessarily in love, because some people have never been in love, but when you think you're in love, or when you feel like this may, like, am I in love? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this what it feels like to be in love, and how we behave. And so I did a poll on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I interact a lot, so go ahead and do that. I did a poll. The first question was, have you ever been in love? And then the second question was, how do you display your affection or your love for that person or whoever? How did you display, or how do you currently display it? And I got a lot of like good responses, and so I wrote them down and I'll like reference them throughout the video. But before I even did the poll, I made it personal to me. So I thought about, like, I don't even know for sure if I've been in love before. I think maybe I was in love. I don't know, but that's just like goes to show what I was saying. Like, whether you think you're in love or you are in love, the way you behave, the way you treat that person is like out of this world. Like no way you ever treat anyone else. And so okay, the way you treat that person is like unlike how you would treat anyone else. So I made it personal to myself, and I would do things for this person, and I would feel a way about this person that just made them like the biggest thing in my world. Like the first person you think about when you wake up, the first person you think about before you go to bed. Maybe you go to bed on the phone with them. I was in high school, so yeah, I went to bed on the phone with them. Like that's what we do. But the way I felt about him, like I would want to always make him happy. I want to see him smile. I want to push him to be his best self. All of these things. And the way I thought about it is like, imagine if all of these things that we do for the person that we love or are in love with, if we took all of the behavior and those emotions and those feelings and poured them into ourselves. And I think it really takes to like really go to that place where you are or were in love with a person, and just think about how important they were to you. And imagine feeling that way about yourself, because I know it's very easy to, if you care for someone, it's very easy to pour yourself into them. And as I say on like probably every video that I've recorded, you cannot pour into someone if you're empty. You cannot pour into someone what you don't have to give. And if you do, you will leave yourself feeling, or not just feeling, but literally being depleted of the energy that you need for yourself, because there's like enough love and good energy and positive vibes to go around. Like, you don't have to, oh, I only have this much for him, and I only have, if I give him this much, then I only have this much left for me, or if I give her this much, then I only have this much left for me. I want to give him this much, so I can't give myself what I need. Like, it's not a thing. So that's why I can't explain it, because it's not a thing. Like, there's enough to go around. So fill yourself up, pour all of those things into yourself. So I wrote down the responses that I got from the poll. Most people said that they had been in love, which is expected. Whether you are like in high school or like in middle school, because it's just when you thought you were in love or when you felt like you were in love, not necessarily like really being in love, because you can think you're in love and then you really fall in love and then you're like, oh, I wasn't in love that time, I'm in love now. But anyway, one person said, she said, I wanted to learn so much about him. And it sounds so simple, but when you apply it to yourself, because in my experience, I started learning about myself. It wasn't until maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when I really like took the time to realize that self-awareness is a thing. It's not just a natural thing. It's something that you have to pursue. And it wasn't until I really acknowledged that I started to pay attention to how I behaved, how I responded, how I felt about certain things, and why I felt that way, and what things triggered me, and all that. Just how we would want to learn so much about that person. It's very important to take that desire and want to learn about ourselves, because once you know these things about yourself, then you know how you can be more productive, or what things fuel you. Once you have a burning desire to learn about yourself and spend time with yourself. Another person said, I think doing things for people is displaying my love. 100% true. Doing things for yourself, taking time for yourself, doing things that make you feel good, doing things that make you happy, doing things that make you more productive. A lot of time, as women in general, because we are by nature nurturers, we want to do for everyone, and sometimes we end up neglecting ourselves and our own health and self-care. So doing things for people is displaying her love, and we should also be doing things for ourselves, like every day. Being affectionate and involved. If I could help him in any way, I would, without him asking. This one really like resonated with me, because it's like, again, I would go above and beyond for this person without them asking, like without them even knowing that they could have possibly needed what it was that I was trying to offer them. Whoa. Oh. You okay, Mama? Being affectionate and involved. I like to take care of them. Self-care. Come on. Self-care, right? Taking care of yourself. Not pushing yourself so hard, even when you don't feel well. You know what I'm saying? To where you prolong your healing process. And that's whether you're feeling sick, like emotionally you don't feel well, mentally you don't feel well, physically you don't feel well, or spiritually. Like, all of these things require care, and you cannot neglect yourself. You have to take care of yourself to be able to operate at your highest self and being your most productive self. So things to make them happy or encourage them to grow. Encouraging yourself, being encouraged, doing things to make you happy. If you don't feel sad, if you do feel sad, what can I do to turn this around? And I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but it's just like, do I need to go somewhere? Am I in the house too much? Do I need to leave? Am I out too much? Do I need to go home? Do I need to spend time with myself? Do I need to get space from whoever or whatever? Do I need to take time off? Do I need to take a vacation? Like, do not push yourself, like drive yourself into the ground for the sake of like making other people happy. Like, you have to, it's so important, y'all. Like, it's so important, like, for real. But encouraging yourself to grow, allowing yourself to fail. A lot of people, we have these things that we want to do, we have these things that we want to start, but we're afraid, or we don't know where to start, or we put it off because I gotta wait until I'm here, or I gotta wait until I get this much money, or I gotta wait until I move to this place, and blah 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 blah. But like, that's not true. Like, you have to start where you are, or you will never start, period. Like, you have to start where you are. And if you do put it off, you can have so much more growth by the time you do decide to start, just because you had all of that time to practice and work and get better. So encouraging yourself to grow, staying motivated, staying positive, that is a form of self-love. Someone else says, showing affection, keeping my word, and letting them know I'm there, whether we're up or down. Keeping your word to yourself, making commitments to yourself, and staying true to those commitments. Like, hold yourself accountable. If you have to share whatever it is that you are pursuing or want to pursue, share that with someone so that you have someone to hold you accountable. Keep your word to yourself, just as you would to the person that you love. Show affection to yourself. Affirmations, stand in the mirror, I'm beautiful, like, I'm powerful, I'm strong. All of that stuff, like, daily, saying it in the mirror, saying it to yourself, and believing it when you say it, like showing yourself love, literally. And then lastly, said, I like to cook for them, which is also a big thing, because cooking for yourself versus going to McDonald's, going to Burger King, going to Applebee's, that's fine and well, and it's a good way to get out and maybe even be around company. But cooking for yourself, there's a different type of love that goes into you personally cooking versus going to a chain restaurant where everything is like, first of all, it's processed as hell. And it's like there's nothing passionate going into that. It's like, it's kind of just like your order is on a piece of paper. They don't know you. It's not personalized to you. They're doing the same thing that they do for everyone else's food, versus you taking the time and kind of going through this soothing process of like preparing your own food. So yeah, cooking for yourself is also a form of self-love. Not like, and again, like, cooking for someone, you want it to taste good, like, you want them to be pleased, you want them to feel good, you want them to feel satisfied, blah 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 blah. And we should want that for ourselves as well. And it's very important to cook for ourselves anyway, like, because it's healthier, period. Like, because you don't know what goes into your food at restaurants at all. Cooking for yourself and nurturing yourself and caring about what goes into your body, these are all ways to show radical self-love. So important. If you don't love yourself, if you can't spend time with yourself, you cannot expect anyone to love you the way that you feel you should be loved. You can't expect anyone to want to spend time with you or any of that. So that is all that I want to talk about in this video. Y'all, my mind was blown. So I really want y'all to think about, like, just think about the person that you love or were in love with, like, in who you felt that close attachment to, and who you wanted to do anything, who you would do anything for. Put yourself in that place, recapture those emotions, and really just evaluate and think about, do I feel this way about myself? Because it's not innate. It's not just naturally occurring. It's something that we have to work. It's work that we have to do for ourselves. So put in the work. Acknowledge that there's work to be done and put the work in. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it spoke to you, because, like, my mind is still blown thinking about it, like, for real. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and share this video, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank y'all. Peace. Y'all want to see my baby? Say hi. Okay. Thank y'all for watching.